Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Ellen Barrett, and we're starting off the show today talking about fitness. And I'm joined today by Tara Kavanaugh of Work Fitness. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. And first, we're just going to start off with, tell us a little bit about what is Work. And I love the spelling of the name. And I already told you, I was kind of dancing in my chair today, just thinking about, dancing and fitness, and I'm excited to learn more.
Awesome. So Work is a wildly fun, addictive cardio dance workout.
Awesome.
Based on pop, hip hop, and rock music. So all top charting hits.
Wow. So music and dancing and fitness all together. I always think, you can't get better than that.
No, you sweat a lot.
I'm sure. That's great. And so a lot of people are probably thinking, is it kind of like Zumba?
Well, actually Work is a nonstop cardio class that combines athletic moves. So pretty much being hip hop music, you can actually fresh driven hip hop moves.
Sure.
And basically all the music that you're hearing in our classes is what you're hearing on the radio as well.
Wow. So a little bit different than Zumba in that it's a little bit more athletic moves.
Yep, athletic moves, absolutely.
Strictly dance moves.
Strictly dance. Perfect. You get lunges in there, you get squats in there.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's really nice because, I like that because for me, I get really, distracted when I'm trying to exercise or running has always been really challenging for me because I'll be running and I'm bored. Like I need something to do. I need something to listen to. And that's why I think it's cool with the music, but you're also getting, lunges, squats, and you are building muscle and really high intensity cardio, it sounds like.
You sweat
within
the first couple songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's always so rewarding. I mean, it stinks to have a hard workout and afterwards you're like, oh, I'm sore, but I don't know if there's anything more rewarding than that and being like, I just worked so hard and had fun.
Yeah.
Cool. So where can people attend your classes?
Actually, Work is located within 35 states across the country. And here locally, it's huge here in Madison.
Wow.
We're at most of the local gyms.
Sure.
You can go to their websites and look at their group fitness schedules, or you can go to workfitness.com and you can actually plug in a zip code or instructor and find which class that we teach at.
Very cool. So you're a little bit spread out and everywhere.
We are.
That's so nice. And that way too, you can do some dancing and maybe you can get involved in some other stuff too. You don't just have to choose one.
Yeah, check out. Exactly.
Awesome.
Check it all out.
So I want to know too, obviously Work has a little bit different spelling. What does that stand for?
So Work, it's not an acronym for anything, but Work is really just about feeling confident about yourself, having fun, and just being yourself.
Oh, I love that. And like I said, that's always the best way to keep motivating yourself too, I think, to exercise, is you have to make it something enjoyable.
And I love it. I fell in love with it, became an instructor, and
very cool.
Yeah, and everybody's really supportive.
Awesome.
All the instructors. So.
Now, I know you mentioned that you're going to sweat a ton. So how many calories are you burning?
Usually you can, in a 60-minute class, about 300 to 600 calories.
Wow.
I mean, it's high intense. And we do show modifications throughout the class, but usually, with the sweating, you lose quite a bit. So
is that something then with the modifications, maybe if you're not in the best shape right now, but it does sound like something you're interested in, that you could start as a beginner and, work your way up through?
Oh, we have all ages, all different exercise athletic ability coming in and
very nice.
Showing their moves.
Very cool. And so I wanted to know too, do you guys have a DVD?
We don't have a DVD. We do have some on our YouTube channel. They can check out some of our choreography. And then you can also go and check out some clips on workfitness.com.
Very cool. Yeah. So that's another way to kind of check it out and get a little taste.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think there's a benefit then too to going to the physical class versus trying to do a DVD at home on your own?
I think as a group fitness instructor, I think going, it's motivation. Mm-hmm. Two, it's fun to dance with a bunch of people, a lot of girls. And you do have guys in there occasionally, but it's like a big dance party.
Wow. Awesome stuff. Very cool. Definite
the hour
benefits
flies.
to that.
Yeah, the hour flies.
Very cool. And people can find you on your website as well and type in your zip code and see what's close to you.
Yes, close to me. Yep.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, Tara. And again, with Work Fitness, be sure to check them out. It sounds like a lot of fun. And Talk of the Town will be back right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town, and I'm joined now by Sarah and Nick of Denny's Jewelers. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Elena.
And so first I wanted to start off with, how did Denny's Jewelers start?
Well, our parents, Pete and Bev Denny, started Denny's Jewelers back in April 15th, 1983.
Wow.
When I was 6 months old. So
Oh, very cool. And here you are today as part of the business as grown-up and adults. Very cool. So it's a family business, it sounds like.
It is. Our parents started it, and we're slowly working on continuing it.
Now, where are you guys located?
We are located in downtown Middleton.
Okay.
Where University Avenue and the Beltline meet across University from the Middleton Fire Department.
Very cool. So that's where you can find them if you want to check them out. And I think it's just really cool that, you know, it is kind of a family, and starting with your parents and now carrying that on. And so I'm sure the service that you guys offer is probably different, you know, than if you go into a chain store or something like that. So what can people expect when they come to Denny's Jewelers?
Personal touch. We like to treat everybody like they're our friends and family.
Personal touch and family and Yep.
Service is definitely a big part of it. We pride ourselves on very high quality service. I mean, we'll typically look at jewelry a couple times, sometimes even not send it back, but have the goldsmith look at it and redo something if we're not happy with it.
Sure. And obviously, like you said, a big part is the bling. You got to have the bling. And I don't know if you can see this through the camera here, but Sarah is just like lighting up our studios back here at Channel 57. If you can see all that shimmer, it is just fabulous. And kind of going off of that, of what you guys offer and how that's different, why do people recommend Denny's?
Again, it's the personal service that we offer. Our selection is amazing. We have at least 8 cases full of bridal, diamond engagement ring selection. So again, if we really believe, like, if you can dream it, we can make it happen.
We really don't like to say no.
That's good, right?
It's very hard for us to say that. It's impossible to stock everything. So like Sarah said, we try to have a lot of jewelry in the store, selection-wise, but we've built it on special ordering and custom making. And so if we don't have it, we can find it. If we can't find it, we can make it.
Very cool. And, you know, being a family business and with your parents starting it, and you see a lot of family businesses, you know, when it comes to pass it on to the kids, you know, maybe the kids are interested in carrying on that business and sometimes they're not. And so obviously both of you are a part of the business, which is really cool. And it's probably not something you see too often. And why do you guys do what you do? Why do you love this business?
When it comes to the time in your life when you fall in love with somebody and you know, you're choosing something that you're representing your love for each other forever, you know, we get to be a part of all those special occasions in life, engagement rings, wedding bands. It's so neat to see first, second, and third generations now. You know, we get to see people come back and get a baby a gift or a grandchild for graduation. So it's really being a part of those special occasions. It's pretty awesome.
Very cool.
All jewelry is very emotional. There's some emotional tie to jewelry, so we get to help make that part of somebody else's life.
Wow, I love that. And that is so true. You know, you probably get to see a lot of really special moments, and most of the people I'm sure coming in are really excited to celebrate a milestone or an event that's happening.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, since your parents had the business and now you guys have kind of stepped on board as well, has there been changes for Denny's Jewelers, or is a lot of it remaining the same?
I would say most of it's remaining the same. We're just continuing to grow individually and as a family, which helps the business grow, you know, as well, to help cater to anybody to celebrate whatever they may need to celebrate.
Our parents are very much still involved, so
very cool.
Really, the whole family, we're there. There's always a Denny there for sure.
Awesome. And always the same great service people have known to come and expect. Wonderful.
Exactly.
So Sarah and Nick, thank you so much for being here today with Denny's Jewelers. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ellen, for having
Thank
us
you,
here.
Ellen.
And Talk of the Town will be back with more right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm joined now by Isaac, and you are the president of Octopi Brewery. So thank you so
Correct.
much for being here today.
Thanks for inviting us.
And we're going to talk about beer, which is always a great topic. And in fact, we're actually going to talk about Third Sign, which you're going to share a little bit more information with us about. And so what is Third Sign Brewing?
Yeah, so Third Sign Brewery is our own brewery. We
Okay.
have a place where we call Octopi Brewing. We're located in Wanakee, and that's contract brewing. We make beer for other people. But then we wanted to have fun and have our own brand in the market, so we created Third Sign. So Third Sign is what you're going to see on the shelves. We distribute right now in Milwaukee, Madison, and the surrounding areas of Dane County.
So what can you tell me about, a little bit about Third Sign?
Yeah, for sure. So wanted to do something fun. There's so many breweries coming out there
Yeah.
that we wanted to be different than the rest of them. So we did Third Sign. So Third Sign is after the third sign of the zodiac, which is Gemini. So it's all about duality. So what we do is grab one style of beer and show you dual interpretations of the same style. So
Very
basically, we launch
cool.
in pairs.
Very cool. So some unique tastes then, I'm guessing, too, along
Yeah, 100%.
with that.
Yep.
Very cool. And so at Octopi in general, what kind of style of beers do you produce? And at Third Sign as well?
Right now, we're on our 14th different style, but every
Wow.
couple months we do two to three. So we always say that there's always something for everybody because there's a lot of people that they don't like beers or dark beers or hoppy beers. So we always find something for someone.
Wow. So I'm sure you guys are staying busy with all of these different projects and
Yeah.
different things going on.
Yeah, it's been a fun ride.
So how about for the future? Any other plans for future beers?
Oh, definitely. The next ones were coming out. There are two IPAs. One's called House Guys, which House Guys means house ghost in Germany. And there's a fable basically that every brewery has a house ghost because sometimes things happen and they go wrong and a machine can, don't operate correctly, and we always blame it on the house ghost. So we're creating a white IPA with Simcoe and Amarillo hops, which are great hops. And then we're doing a Sour Kirsch, which is a sour tart IPA that we put Door County cherries on top of it, which is really delicious.
That sounds really good, but what a fun story to have, behind kind of the idea of that.
Yeah, we always love to have quirky and fun names and something interesting to do it. Our last two beers were called Beatrice and Abandon All Hope, and they were both in reference for Dante's Divine Comedy. Beatrice was the one who took Dante to heaven, and Abandon All Hope was what Dante saw before he entered the gates of hell. So we just love to have fun with the names.
Very cool. And you guys have an anniversary coming up soon?
Yeah, it's we haven't chosen the date yet, but it's going to be end of September.
Okay.
It's our first year anniversary, so we're super excited. First year when we opened, we had about 700 people. We expect to have over 1,000 people this year.
Wow.
And we're going to create a special beer called Osiris. That's going to be a Russian Imperial Stout, and it's going to be a fantastic beer. And it's only going to be released the day of the anniversary at the brewery.
So you're not going to want to miss that party.
Yes. As soon as we have the dates, we're going to put on our website, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, social media, and hope everybody comes.
Awesome. And just out of curiosity, too, I mean, like you said, you guys have so many different beers. For you personally, what beers are you the most excited about?
It's always the next one. I don't have a favorite beer. I'm always looking for new stuff to try because beer is so varied. That's even more varied than wine. So it's always what's next, what's new, and then people are pushing the envelopes to create new styles and new recipes. So right now I'm very, very excited about our two newest beers, House Guys and Sour Kirsch, and then obviously the next one will be Osiris, which will be our anniversary beer.
And now I know I mentioned this to you off camera as well. You just must have the most fun job.
It's a great job.
It must be a blast.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's very challenging. Every day brings its challenge, but it's fun because you deal with really nice people. You deal with bar owners, restaurant owners, bartenders. Just people are really happy because beer is a fun product to sell.
It's always something that people are gathering around. So like you said, it's always a celebration of some sort.
Always, and Wisconsin is just such a fantastic state for beer, and there's a lot of beer knowledge and history, and people love their beer here, women and men equally.
Oh, absolutely. And where can people find information or check you guys out?
Yeah, for sure. We have our website called octopibrewing.com, or for our own brand, it's thirdsign.com. It's the number 3RDSIGN.com, and you can find us on social media too.
Facebook and Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, correct.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here today, Isaac.
Thank you very much.
And again, with Third Sign Brewery and also Octopi Brewery, and so be sure to check them out. All the information will be below on your screen. Talk of the Town will be back right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. I'm joined now by our news partner moving forward, and with me today, a familiar face, Marianne Garidi, and she's the owner. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
And so obviously we have some props out today too, and so
Exactly.
we'll get to that a little bit later. Kind of got some interesting ideas having to do with these different items that you'll see here. But first off, for people who are just tuning in, maybe this is totally new for them, what is a senior move manager, and what are you guys really all about?
Sure, absolutely. So a senior move manager is basically, we're part of an organization called National Association of Senior Move Managers. And what we do is we focus on older adults who are getting ready to move from a home they've been living in maybe 40 or 50 years, and they're ready to downsize to a smaller apartment, an independent living or an assisted living. We work with the Jefferson on Old Sauk Road a lot. And so we help people move from their house then into a smaller apartment. And we just help make that transition as smooth as possible.
And that's really, I think, important because that can be a really stressful time for not only the person who's moving, but the family as
Exactly.
well. So to have somebody kind of be that third party and help that transition, excuse me, that's a tongue twister there, transition
Exactly.
is really important and a really nice step. And so I know you kind of mentioned overall what you guys do. And so what are some of the different areas you focus on when you're moving
Sure.
clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we do is, when we meet with our client, we kind of get a sense for, their favorite items and what they want to bring with them. And we kind of help identify the items and we tag them and we do floor layout to make sure the furniture they want to bring will fit nicely into their new space. And then really we go through and we pack all the items that are going. And then the items that remain, we help them sell or donate all the items that are there. And after we then move our clients and get them settled into their new space, we go back to the house and help to get the house ready to be sold. So we do like a complete clean out. We'll help, again, continue selling items. We bring in a landscaper if we need to,
Wow.
a painter if we need to. So we have all these little avenues that we focus on in order to get the house, ready to sell, because that kind of gives them some closure to make sure, everything is in line to where they want it to be.
That's very true, very nice. And I wanted to talk specifically too about closets.
Yes.
Because sometimes, I know in my personal closet, it is just like a danger zone of
Right.
where, things maybe I'm not sure what to do with, or I want to keep, or I just don't want to think about it right now. And I shove everything into my closet, into boxes, into the top, into the bottom, every little
Exactly.
corner I can squeeze something. So what
Right.
do you find with working with people in closets in particular?
Yes, and it's really an interesting an area of folks' houses when we're working with them, because first of all, people when I come in to meet with them, they're typically embarrassed about something or other, and so before they open the closet door, they'll say like it's probably going to be the worst closet you've ever seen, and so we open it up, and typically it's like everyone else's closet because
Right.
we all kind of follow the same pattern. And what happens is we have these items that we have memories associated with them. So I brought some items just to kind of show what I run into when I'm
Yeah.
talking through the closet area of the home.
Perfect. Let's touch on those.
Okay,
We've
sure.
got a lot of different stuff going on.
Yes. So some of the items I found, so today I brought a blanket, which,
Okay.
Lots of times when I'm meeting with a client, we'll look in the closet and they'll have a stack of maybe 5 blankets. And, I'll ask them, okay, so, do you like these blankets? Do you use these blankets? And the answer will be something like, no, they were my mother's or my grandmother's. I don't use them. They're not soft. They're just not my style, but I don't want to get rid of them. And
Sure.
so then we kind of help people through knowing that it's okay, it's just an item, and if you're really not using it on a daily basis, then sometimes it's better to find a new home for it. And we just try to let people, we discuss the fact that although you have it and it brings some special memories, when you look at it, every time you look at it and you think, boy, maybe somebody could use that item, it almost puts a negative twist on it. So you actually become a little bit, it's a more comfortable feeling when you can actually present somebody else with the item who can then put it to good use. So we try to help people through that step so that they don't feel like they have to keep an item just because somebody gave it to them or just because, it had some special meaning to them. So we try to help them through those steps.
I really like that.
Yeah, and then from there, then other things. With this one, I brought like a Boy Scout uniform that somebody would have in their closet. And when they look at the uniform, they think of their child, perhaps, and the memories associated with that. But clearly, the child probably doesn't want it. And
Right.
every time you look at it, you kind of think, gosh, what am I going to do with it? It just sits here. And you look at it, and it almost, again, it creates a negative feel. Whereas if you find somebody who can use it, somebody who's interested in scouting, that you could actually give it to, it helps
Right.
with that closure. And then you can move it out of your closet, and then every time you look at it, then you look at it one last time maybe, and you know that somebody else can use it.
Sure.
So it's trying to put a positive spin on things. Other items that I brought with me today So I brought a squash racket.
Sure.
So sometimes what happens is people are into different sports along the way, and then they'll keep an item related to that in hopes that maybe they'll do it again. So every time you look at that item, you're like, oh man, maybe I'll use it again, but it just sits there. So it's that closure again, just trying to move items out so it doesn't create a negative feeling every time you look at it. So if
Sure.
you haven't used it in 10 years, the chances are maybe you're not going to use it. So again, helping them through that.
I love that, and I love that message, and that's really nice that you guys can kind of help with that move, but I think it's a lesson we all can learn from, and I know I can apply too.
Sure,
So thank
sure.
you so much for being here again
Yes,
today
thank you.
with Moving Forward. Thank you for watching Talk of the Town, and you can find us next time only on Channel 57.